Here we are. Hello, everyone. It's Amy Carlson, the Toxin Terminator, and I have got my dear, dear friend, Wendy Cardell, with me. Wendy has kind of morphed into a new career path, shall we say. Wendy and I have known each other for, is it 5 years now?
I think, yeah.
Oh my gosh, 5 years. And this is a person who has a true heart of gold. We met each other actually through Young Living. We both did Young Living. We both use Young Living. And if you're another fellow Young Living user, participant, tell us hello. We can see your comments. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you have questions, please make sure you type them in. This is a live Q&A. We want to hear your questions. So Wendy has stepped into an ULA coaching position. And I love this because I actually met Dr. Dave and Dr. Troy better than 5 years ago, because they really were aligned with Young Living and did a lot of events with Young Living. And they used to do an event in Las Vegas called ULA Palooza. And I went twice. And Wendy's going to talk way more in depth about this. But what they do is really help us, as I think, especially as women, because we wear so many different hats, and they really help us learn how to balance that out so that we don't feel like we're being pulled in one direction or the other. And we can really find that balance. And we're all about getting balance in our lives. Mm-hmm. And so Wendy has stepped into this because her heart is so much of a servant's heart. She just loves to be able to help women in whatever role and capacity that is. And I couldn't be more pleased when she was really kind of going through a time where she was really trying to figure out, what is it that I want to do with life? We had lots and lots of conversations. And when she shared with me that this is what she landed on, I was thrilled to death, because this fits her so well. And you guys are going to see that. So Wendy, tell us a little bit more about what this venture's been like for you, and really what people can expect when they come into working with an ULA coach.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. Thanks for inviting me here today. Yeah, we have been friends for, around 5 years. And I also was introduced to the ULA guys through Young Living at several of the conventions that I went to. And I really resonated with their message of really finding balance in our lives. And most of us don't enjoy a lot of balance. And we lots of times don't even realize it. You know, we think we're kind of going along well. But when we really stop to take a look at what we call the 7 F's of ULA, which almost everything that goes on in our life affects one of these 7 F's. And I'll get into what those F's are in a minute here. But when one of those is out of balance, really, our life is not in balance at all, right?
Right.
So as you said, I was sort of floating around for about 6 months. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I do have a heart to help others. And when this ULA life coaching certification came up as an option, I was pretty excited about it, because I loved the fact that ULA includes all areas of life. And life coaching, there's lots of life coaching programs out there that you can take. But what I really loved about ULA was it also included the 2 areas of, one of finance and one of faith. Yeah. And by faith, I don't mean religion. I just mean whatever faith is to you, because I feel like a lot of people have sort of lost their way in their faith. So I really loved that ULA included those. And I also loved the fact that the program included ongoing coaching for the coaches. You know, it's not just about, here's your certification, go at it, but that ongoing help and coaching from Dave and Troy is actually amazing. So I love the support in that. And for those of you who aren't familiar with ULA, they actually wrote a book, if you can see this, ULA, Find Balance in an Unbalanced World. And they've actually got several books now.
Yes.
So that's what the whole coaching program is based on. And the reason that they decided to start up get certified ULA life coaches was Dave and Troy realized that Their motto was change the world with a word, which was ULA, but they realized that they couldn't do that with just the two of them.
Right.
So they put together the really comprehensive training program for coaches, and it's how we get to share ULA with more people, because we know that more people need ULA in their life. So if you're not familiar with ULA, ULA is actually derived from the word "oula la" in French. And what it is, it's a state of awesomeness in your life. And so who doesn't want awesomeness in their life, right?
Right, right.
So, and there's just so many people that have lots of different struggles in their life, and they're just not feeling balanced. And I think that the last 6 months has thrown more side curve balls at people than ever before. What we thought we knew, we don't know anymore.
Right.
So when we actually take the time to make sure that all 7 of these areas of our life are working, we're firing on all 7 cylinders, we actually are able to take life in stride, because we know we have a plan going forward, and we know exactly how we're going to get there.
I love that.
Yeah.
What are the 7 areas of the ULA?
So the 7 areas are, they are fitness, which is everything wellness in your life. It is, family. It is finances. It is field, which is your career or how you spend your day, because I was no longer in a career, but it's how I spent my day. Then we have faith, friends, and fun. And that's also really intrigued me, was the fun part, because I wasn't really having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, and I want to ask, hey, Gabriel, how are you? Gabriel's tuning in. I want to ask our listeners, we just rattled off those 7 different F's. So they were faith, fitness, family, and friends, right? Did I hit them all?
Well, you cut out there on me. So they're fitness, family, finances, field, which is your career, faith, friends, and fun.
And fun. So for those of you who are watching, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, I want you to drop us a number. How do I want to do this? I want you to tell us, of those 7 areas, which one do you struggle the most with? Let us know. Which one of those areas do you feel like is the biggest struggle for you? You were mentioning fun was a real issue for you. Like, I so relate. I just had my coaching call this morning, and she's like, your homework for the next 7 days is to do something fun every single day. I think sometimes we get so focused on work or family or, field and family and all those other things, and we just don't remember to have fun.
And I think even as adults, as soon as we get into that adult world and we're looking after other people, we forget that it's important to have fun.
Yes.
My husband worked in he made headstones. That was his business. And he would tell you, never once did he put on a headstone, "I wish I'd spent more time at the office."
Right.
Yes. So it's just, we tend to put it, it's the last thing that we think of, but it is so important to have that balance in life.
Right. Now, you talked about having some kind of statistics around some of these different areas. And we've asked people, we've got somebody said fun, there's another one for fun, right?
Yeah.
Why is it as adults it's so hard to remember to have fun? We're, and especially this time, we got so many serious things happening. Let's remember to have that fun, but share some of those statistics with us surrounding some of those other F areas that we can look at and really kind of resonate with.
Sure. And the other thing I want to share first is in ULA, we call it the ULA wheel. And if you imagine a wheel and each of the spokes that keep that wheel turning smoothly, each of those spokes is one of those 7 Fs. So if you can imagine that and think that if you are not having any fun, maybe you're making a lot of money, but you're not having any fun, and maybe you're, rocking it in your marriage, but you can't afford to pay the bills.
Right.
You know, so you might have a great relationship, but you guys are so far in debt you really can't see through. You know that if one of those spokes is missing or is down, that whole wheel of life, it's going to clunk. It's going to clunk.
Right.
It's going to clunk, right? So I will share with you, excuse me, some of what those represent, some of those statistics are. So when we dig into health and fitness, for instance, you know what? There's fast food around every corner. It's very easy to eat unhealthily, especially in North America. We're getting less and less active. It's easier to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Number one, because Netflix just starts playing the next episode, right? You don't get a chance to, you don't get to hit the button. They hit it for you. Like they get you addicted to that, right? So we've moved from eating, having dinner around a table and actually having conversation. And we're sitting at our desks, we're sitting in our cars, and then we sit on the couch. So 1 in 3 is the statistic that 1 in 3 Americans are clinically obese and 2 out of 3 adults are overweight. That is a lot. And the real problem really is that that's now starting to affect our kids. So obesity, it's very common. It's a very serious and very costly disease. It costs us our health. And of course, it costs us in the medical cost for that is skyrocketing. It also can lead, of course, to things like diabetes and heart disease and cancer and all of those things, right? So our fitness and our wellness is super important.
It really is.
Really easy to put on the back burner though, right?
Oh, it's so easy to talk yourself out of it.
Right. So the next thing is about finance. So as a society, we are drowning in debt. Consumer debt has hit a new high, and COVID-19 is really affecting that.
Oh, yeah.
So 7 out of 10 of us have less than $1,000 in savings. And I can tell you that if in the last 6 months you lost a job or a business or your hours got cut back, you probably didn't have enough money saved up to be able to see yourself through, right?
Right.
So, but even before that, if something went wrong with the car or you had a medical expense, that most of us don't have the money to see our way through that. And that is really very scary. And that causes a great deal of stress, right? So, and student loan debt has topped over $1 trillion. It's huge. And that yo-yoing of finances has a strain on, again, all areas of our life. We might think we're doing okay in other areas, but if you're in financial debt and stress, it is affecting you in every other area of your life.
Oh, yeah. They say what divorce happens from, either disagreements with raising the children or finances. Those are the 2 biggest reasons for divorce.
And that's next. 53% of us end up in divorce. And that does not reflect the marriages that are holding on by a thread. And they expect that this divorce rate is actually going to spike after COVID because people all of a sudden were spending all day with their spouses, plus they had financial stress, plus the kids were at home. So if you thought that your relationship was bad before COVID, it either strengthened it or you know that it's bad, right? So that is, that's just the way that it goes. And that's part of life, unfortunately, for most of us. And in ULA, we say that if you're not working on your marriage, you are working on your divorce.
Yeah, that's like a hard pill to swallow, right? I mean, that hits you.
Truly, it does. Like that hits all of us. And guess what? There are also people who are in relationships that they know they need to get out of. It's not healthy. So whatever way that works for you, you've got a thread to hang on to, or you don't. Whatever that looks like for you, it's causing stress. And we, in ULA, what we want you to do is really dig deep and take a look at what you need to do to either work on that marriage or that relationship or that partnership that you're in, or you need to do what's healthy for you, right?
Right.
So now we get into field or what we do for our living. So 55% of us actually hate our jobs. And
Isn't it
another
sad?
study shows that 66% of us are either unengaged or actively, we're either not engaged or actively disengaged when we get to work. So no matter where you fit into these statistics, we spend a third of our days for most of our lives in our jobs. And with 60% of us unhappy, we're truly wasting our precious time on this earth. So with 53% of marriages ending in divorce and 55 to 75% of us that don't like our jobs, that means that we're going to a job that we hate. We sit in traffic to get there both ways. And then we come home to a spouse that we either can't stand or that we're disconnected from. And then we call that a life. That's definitely not a life that we should be living.
Doesn't this make you so sad? And to realize, you know, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is life. We get one opportunity. We don't get this day, this moment again. Once it's happened, it's happened. These are really sobering numbers.
Unfortunately, they are, right?
Really sobering.
So the next one is faith. And, you know, faith has been removed from everything. It's become politically incorrect to speak about it. And I completely believe that your faith is your faith. This is not about religion or what you believe. It's about coming together and understanding what that faith looks like for you and how you can incorporate what your faith means to you into your life. Because if we don't have a higher power to believe in, that there's something greater than ourselves, we really lose connection, right? So that's why I love the fact that faith is part of the ULA coaching framework, because it really allows you to dig deep and decide what's right for you and how you can increase your own faith. So
I love that. I love that. You know, and of course, people who know me and are part of this group know that faith is a huge part of my life. And I honestly don't understand how anybody can get through this thing called life without having that faith and the realization that it's not about you. It's a bigger, you know, perspective. And you know, when we know we're just a piece of the big puzzle, you know, what a comforting, you know, fact that is.
Right. Yes. And it's nice to know that we have that comfort to lean on, whatever that looks like for us. Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the next one is around friends. Have you ever heard the saying that you are who you hang out with? Well, there's the statistic is that 8 out of 10 of us still endure toxic friendships. And it's easier than ever to endure those because of social media, right? So, you know, that friend that drains you instead of energizing you, they're detrimental to your health and your relationships and your development as an individual. So there's a few subtle signs that you might not even think about, but that could indicate that your friendships are toxic. And I'm just going to read these off. One is they aren't there to celebrate your successes. They only care about themselves. They're not interested in the details of your life. They criticize you, but it's not constructive.
Right.
They don't prioritize you and your friendship. They tend to keep score. They're not happy for you. And here's a big one. They talk behind your back.
Ooh, that takes me to grade school.
Right? But so many adults do this. And our friends can influence and change our value system. So we want to be really careful about having meaningful friendships and making sure that they're not stressful. And just really nailing down sometimes who those toxic friends are. And we have a really simple, powerful way that we do that in ULA. But it's just super important to recognize that sometimes a friend is toxic. And here's the other thing. If you look at your friends and you don't see anybody as toxic, take a look at yourself.
Might be you.
And see if you're the toxic one. I hate to say it, but sometimes we are, right? So.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a big deep, big deep dive, into ourselves for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Was that all 7 of them?
No, we have one more, and that
Okay.
is fun.
Yay!
At ULA, we believe that at the end of your days, you should be able to look back on your life and think, man, that was fun, that you've got memories, that you went and did fun things. And Amy, you and I know this from our time working together in Young Living, that we knew that we had to stop and make time for fun, not around business or what we wanted to do next together, but just go and enjoy and have fun and go on hikes. And we went kayaking and we just did lots of fun things, but we had to actually make an effort to do that.
Yes.
So part of the fun section in ULA is taking a look at what would I really love to do? Like, and for some of us, it's been so long since we've thought about that we got to really dig deep on that one. So, it's just about, and sometimes it's just about making sure that we say, I love you more often, honestly. Right.
Yeah.
And we want to take our last breath and we want to make sure that we have really had some fun times in our life and planned for that. So we really want you to live a life of amazingness, what we call an ULA life. And that is kind of the gist of what we take a look at with the 7 F's. And we feel like ULA is the solution to this unbalanced world. Yeah. And so that's what I'm passionate about doing, is taking and guiding people through this ULA framework. The framework itself, it's a proven framework. There are tens of thousands of success stories around people, whether they've lost a great deal of weight, whether they have, made their marriage 100% better, whether they have addressed family members who are toxic, that they need to make changes around, whether it's travel, whether it is changing careers, whatever that is. We all have dreams, and ULA is about getting you to take a look back at those dreams that you've probably lost sight of. And, like I'd actually ask anybody who's here and watching this, what dreams do you remember having that you have totally lost sight of? And maybe it's around your career, because maybe you did what your parents wanted you to do. Maybe you got the degree that they wanted you to have. And what you really wanted was to be a ballet dancer, or what you really wanted to do was be a teacher, or what you really wanted to do was be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Like, whatever those dreams were for you, if you have a dream in any area that you can think of, share that with us in the comments. I would love to hear what those dreams are.
Yeah. And I would like to hear too, now that we went through those statistics and talked a little bit more about each one of those 7 areas, did your one that you chose, because we asked you to choose one of the 7 areas in the beginning, did that change to what your number one for working on after hearing more of the statistics and a little bit more about each one? Did it shift for you to what you think that you need to be focused in on? So, and if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask them here. Now, are Dr. Dave and Dr. Troy still using the surfboard and the little round stickers?
You betcha. Their ULA bus now is 25 layers deep with dreams. And they actually, some of the ULA coaches have bought their own dream bugs and surfboards, and they are collecting dreams as well, which is pretty cool. Another thing that might help you understand the area that you think you might need to work on most, I'm just going to share these affirmations if you don't mind, because that really helps you. Once you hear these affirmations, you might be able to think, that's something I need to work on. So I'm going to just quickly share those. The first one is around fitness. And this is the affirmation we have around fitness. I am fit, healthy, and strong. I am fit, healthy, and strong. Around finances, we say, I am financially free and living abundantly. I am financially free and living abundantly. In family, we talk about I am unconditionally loving, patient, and respectful. I am
That's a
unconditionally
good one.
loving, patient, and respectful. I read these every morning because it reminds me of what I need to do.
Yeah.
Under field, which is your career or how you spend your day, I am pursuing my purpose in life.
Mm.
I am pursuing my purpose in life. Like I can see, Amy, that you are pursuing your purpose in life. And I think it's amazing to watch.
Thank you.
Under faith, I am grateful, humble, and fully connected. I am
Mm.
grateful, humble, and fully connected. Under friends, I am blessed with empowering, healthy relationships. I am blessed with empowering, healthy relationships. And the last one for fun.
Yours is one of those blessings.
Oh, thank you. And so are you, truly.
Mm-hmm.
The last one for fun is that I am pursuing the joys in life. I am pursuing the joys in life. I just wanted to share those because I think that sometimes when we think about these areas, we think, well, what would that look like? And to me, these
Right.
affirmations really say what that part of my life should look
Right.
like.
You get to put a picture, into what that is. I love it. I adore, looking into these 7 different areas. And how this all creates this, balance inside of our lives. I know there are so many people out there who are struggling. And they're really struggling. We've got an event coming up, and I'm going to kind of segue into that if that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
I was just sharing with Naomi this morning, because we're accepting. Gosh, we're getting close to 200 people a day coming into the group. It's called More Than Pink Ribbons because October, which is just a couple days away, is all about breast cancer awareness. And we feel like we need to have more than awareness. We've got awareness up the wazoo on what breast cancer is. We need to be empowering women on how to take control and live a healthy preventative lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And this all ties in with ULA. And as I'm asking them, tell us where you're at and tell us, what you hope to learn. And I was in tears this morning talking with Naomi because the stories that these women are sharing, and their health, it's so sad. It's so gut wrenching, of what people are going through today. Not just with cancer, but other things as well. And so this event, More Than Pink Ribbons, is really tying in. We're bringing in Wendy to talk to us about how to create this balance in our lives. It's not just about you need to eat this or you need to move this way, or it's about, it's mental, it's physical, it's spiritual, and we want to tie all those pieces of the puzzle together. And this event is called More Than Pink Ribbons, and it's going to be done in a Facebook group. The Facebook group is, where's my banners at? Let me hide this one. The Facebook group is called Transforming Women's Health. So if you are not in it yet, it's private. Please come in and join us. Wendy will be sharing with us, and she's also giving away what is it that you're giving away?
I'm giving away a free ULA Life Planner.
Oh, amazing. And so she's going to dive in more, more in depth into what she talked about today, as well as 26 other speakers. It's a week long, October 5th through the 11th. What are you most excited to share about in this upcoming event, Wendy?
Well, I'm excited to share an opportunity for people to lower their stress, really, because we know that stress plays a huge role in cancer and disease and in our life and our wellness in general.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? Knowledge is power. So as you said, it's about, there's 26 of us in there sharing how you can reduce illness in your life, how you can help prevent cancer and other illness, how you can lower stress, and just sharing their stories, because there's survivors, there's cancer survivors in there. And there's just such a wealth of information and knowledge that we're going to be sharing. So I'm excited to be able to share ways that people can reduce their stress through living an ULA life, and sharing with them how they can do that. And, sadly, I have a new reason to do this. And that is that last night, I heard of a dear friend of mine who passed away this last week with pancreatic cancer. And she was 50 years old. So it just fuels my passion around helping people get the knowledge that they need to live better and to live healthier lives and to live a life of wellness, because we have all of this knowledge and these tools at our fingertips. And this group, Transforming Women's Health, and our event, More Than Pink Ribbons, I think is just a fantastic way to share and to empower people with knowledge. Because as you like to say, when we know better, we can do better, right? So if you haven't joined this group, and I'm sure that Amy will probably post a link maybe below here of that group so you can join it. I just can't wait to share in there, and I can't wait to hear everybody's stories that they're sharing. I just think it's going to be fantastic. So
well, and it's do better, but we do it in bite-sized pieces. We're all going to hear a message that needs to, that we need to hear and resonate with, that we can make that one small change in our life. Because what we do every single day on a daily basis is going to impact, how our aging process is going to look. And we can reverse things. We absolutely have the ability to reverse things. So thank you, Wendy, for coming in, sharing your heart with us, because this is such a powerful tool for women to use. Back up to the banners and show you. She's got a Facebook group called Wendy Cardell's Life Coaching. Please check it out. Connect with Wendy. In order for us to move forward, we really have to connect with someone who can see us from the outside and is there and take us onto that next level. And so if you don't work with a life coach right now, I really encourage you to do so, because we all need that. We all need that outside look in helping us step through our life. And your coaching program is what, a 10-week program?
Yep, it's a 10-week program. And I think the other thing too around that, Amy, is the accountability that a coach provides you, because how many of us have started something and 2 weeks into it, we've already given up. And sometimes we need somebody to kick us in the butt and keep us accountable for what we know we want to do. And that's where I think the life coaching comes in, and having somebody that will be your advocate and help you, guide you to be the hero of your story, really is what it's about. So thank you so much for inviting me in here. And if you have any questions about the ULA program or anything else that I can help you with, I would love to answer that. I'll answer questions here. And by all means, check out my page. I'd love to see you over there as well.
Absolutely. And we'll monitor this feed, as the day goes on. So if you're watching in the replay, make sure you let us know. And if you've got specific questions, Wendy will pop in here. I'll pop in here and we'll make sure we get those answered. You guys have a blessed afternoon. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you get connected with Wendy. You will not regret that.
Bye-bye.